Hey guys, welcome back to my next car chat video. So hopefully this one's better than last one. I got a new phone finally. My speaker was broken on the last one, and it was very difficult to edit that. It was brutal, so I'm sorry for that. Today we're going to talk about holidays and all that the holidays entail as far as consumerism and gifts and simplifying traditions, family time, decor, taking a winter break while homeschooling. So I asked you guys on Instagram, and those are all the kind of topics you wanted to cover. Yesterday was Halloween and we had a great time. It's Violet's favorite holiday ever. So she was just so excited all month, actually since like August, she was excited. And they dressed up as American Girls and it was so cute. They created their entire look themselves and it turned out so great. And then they had me be Julie. June was Molly, Violet was Mary Ellen, and I was Julie. And then Owen and Andrew were Power Rangers. So we had a good time. So I hope you guys had fun for Halloween. Let's first start with gifts. This is something that I have honestly struggled with for a couple years. Like the first year when the girls were little, we went way over the top. And I think it was just because it was our first Christmas with kids and it was just so much fun. And at the time I'm like, they're not gonna even remember this. Like, why are we doing this? I also went over the top for like their first birthday, decorations for Christmas that year. I think I just had all these ideas of what I wanted things to look like. And it was like at the height of Pinterest, and social media back then was just like a lot different. It was a lot more like keeping up. I don't feel that way as much anymore. I know some people do, but I've kind of lost that interest in that comparison game. But back then when the girls were little, it was definitely much stronger. And I feel like just everything was over the top, I think. And also I unfollowed a lot of Instagram accounts that made me feel that way since. Like, if I'm watching somebody who puts on these like extravagant parties, now I'm going to want to do that too. So I think if that's your thing and you are going to like find inspiration from that, then that is awesome. But for me, I would take it as more of like, okay, this is upping the ante, and I didn't like that. So I ended up unfollowing a lot of influencers who just like posted over the top things. And that's honestly helped a lot because you're not seeing that daily in your feed. And so it takes that like idea kind of away. Is anybody else just so dry right now? I guess it's like if you live in California. I'm just like, my face is so dry, my lips are so dry. Okay, so something that goes along with this is presents. And I always notice this too, like we always try to simplify every year. And then Christmas comes, or the night before Christmas, Christmas Eve, and as I'm putting everything out there, it always seems like more than I thought it was gonna be. And I also underestimate the power of stockings. Like stockings, you can put so many little goodies in there, and that can take up so much time in the morning. And stocking stuff to me, like when I was little, I loved stockings. That was just like where it's at. And I don't know, I just think that I need to take stockings as more of like a weighted gift rather than just like extra stuff. I'm trying to think last year what we did as far as gifts. I don't think I had a set number, but this year we have decided to do 5 presents per child. So basically I said to the kids, for your Christmas wish list, you can ask for 5 things. Because last year they were making their Christmas list and it was, I mean, this long, all the way down of things. And then they expect to get all those things. So I was telling them, like, when you make your Christmas list, one, you may not get everything on that list. They're more like ideas. And really think hard about the things that you do want. So I told them, think about 5 things you'd really like. And a lot of the things that they're like wanting are, you know, they're little tiny things. It's like a blue shirt or like hair ribbons. I don't know, like little things. They're not like big presents or anything like that. We didn't do a big present last year. We did 2 years ago. We did a big dollhouse for the girls, and they did not even care about it. It was, as we were putting it together, Andrew's like, I don't know if they're even gonna like this. And I was like, yes, they are. And they didn't. They really don't play with it still to this day. So we kind of took out, like, I always wanted to get them like a big thing and then all their little things. And I just felt like the big things always fell flat. I don't know. We did get Owen drums last year. And again, I mean, he liked it for a little bit, but he broke them the following day. Like, he stabbed his drumstick in the drums. And I'm just like, seriously? So I just am kind of over like doing, I can see when they're getting older and they're like, okay, I really would like this for Christmas. Then I understand it. But they're young right now. And to me, it just seems like unnecessary kind of thing to do. For stockings, we usually do like little things from Claire's. They love Claire's. So like little hair accessories. The girls are very into, they're not as into toys anymore. Violet told me, she said, Mom, if anybody gets me toys for my birthday, also their birthday is like a week before. If anybody gets me toys for my birthday or Christmas, I'm going to set up a stand and sell them and take that money and buy clothes with them. I'm like, okay, you do that. But the other thing you forget about too are like presents that are coming from grandparents or aunts and uncles or friends or whatever it is. Like, there's always other presents that you don't account for. And then I always feel like whatever Andrew and I get the kids is just overshadowed by other things. And also, when there are too many presents, they don't care as much about them because there's so many things, versus if you have just a few things, you treasure those gifts that you get. I would like to just get them each, more so the girls. Owen, he's younger, he doesn't really care as much, but like the girls, I would like to get them something that's like really thoughtful. I'm thinking about getting them, I got this for my brother and sister-in-law. They had a little boy and I got him, it's a little like wooden music box, and it's so cute. It's like a little zoo theme, and they have a ton of different ones. They also have a Christmas one, like the main nativity scene, and it looks so cute. I would like to get that for our family to have as like a decoration thing that we can look at every year together. But I also kind of want to get the girls their own little music box. But I don't want to get 3. That seems too much. So it's either we're going to do the Christmas one, or I'll give them each one for Christmas as a present. But yeah, just like something special like that. We also, one of our traditions is to open one gift on Christmas Eve. That's what I did with my family growing up. So that was something I really wanted to do with my kids. Let me know what you guys do for gifts. I've also heard one of my friends does the something new, wait, that's wrong. That's for weddings. Something to wear, something to read, something you want, and something you need. So that's kind of a neat way to do it too. Also, I've heard some people do 3 gifts for the 3 wise men gifts. So there's like a lot of different ways to go about it, but I feel like just saying 5 things kind of reins things in for me, actually. Like, it's not necessarily for the kids. It's more for me to be like, okay, we have a cap. So you need to be thoughtful with what you're giving. Don't just keep buying stuff. The thing that was hard for me last year is I did our shopping so early, and I feel like it kind of backfired because I forgot about what I got them. I had like packed it all away, and then new things come up and you're like, oh, that would be a really good gift. And then you're forgetting about what you already got them. So I don't think I'm going to do my shopping as early as I did last year, honestly, because I enjoy shopping for things and like figuring everything out. So I might just make sure everything's all curated and, you know, then do it versus just getting it all done right away. But do you guys shop early? Do you shop late? Like, when do you shop? Okay. The next question was how to not go overboard and how to simplify things. I would come up with like 3 things that you want to always do and go back to each Christmas time. For us, one of the things is looking at lights. Like, we love to go as a family around our neighborhood and look at all the lights. We have a little golf cart that we'll use now, and just like putting on our sweatshirts and listening to Christmas music and looking at all the Christmas lights together is like a strong memory for me already, and the kids are little. So that is definitely probably number one. The second thing is decorating. I now like it to be a family thing. In the past, I would just want to get the decorations out as soon as possible. And now Andrew loves Thanksgiving, and his one thing is, can we wait to decorate until after Thanksgiving? And so now the weekend after Thanksgiving, that is now our decorate for Christmas time, where we can turn on our Christmas music and really get into the spirit. And I don't feel like I'm forcing Andrew to get into the Christmas spirit too soon. We can put on some Christmas movies together and all decorate, and it just becomes like a whole thing versus me just like doing it myself. And now the girls that are older, they asked actually if they can help decorate, so I think that'll be really fun. Something that I've kind of taken away from our traditions is an advent calendar. I don't know, I felt like it's not much, right? I mean, every day you do think, but it still is one extra thing. Every little extra thing adds on to each other. If an advent calendar is something that you cannot live without, then by all means do it. They have some really cute wooden ones that light up, I've seen now, and I resisted buying one. But for us, like honestly, just making the little strips of paper, the rings that you rip apart, and writing the numbers 25 to 1, like that is just as fun for the kids, and they can all do it. I don't want to give them candy every morning. It just seems like rushed when we would do an advent calendar. So now I'm just like, we're going to do our little countdown garlands, and that's going to be our countdown. And then one other thing we do is a gingerbread house. But that's another thing where it's like, think about things that you want to do as a tradition, and then also ask yourself, do your kids also want to do this? Because I think a lot of moms have, all these things that they want to do. We got to do this. But then you have to think to yourself, do your kids even care? Because if they don't care, like if you're doing it for them, they don't care, it's a waste of time. But if it's more for you, I don't know. You just got to figure out, like, is it worth it? But I want to add and just like make something that I do for myself for the holidays is making some type of treat for our friends and family and delivering that together. Like that was super fun for me last year. I loved it. I loved packaging it up really cute, putting on some music while I made the treats. I just really enjoyed that. And then you have a gift that is homemade. They can give to teachers and instructor, whoever you're giving gifts to. I got these little like craft boxes, and I have a ton of them still. And I would just use some parchment paper, put the treats in there, and then use like a little tie, and it was super easy and fun. Another thing though, I think with simplifying for the holidays is you have to be very intentional with it, because things can so quickly escalate and you are scheduling so many things, and I think it's okay to say no to some things. Even if you did do them last year, I think I don't know if it's maybe like a young family thing or our generation, I don't know, but I think we can tend to want too many traditions. It's like, we want to make this a tradition, I want to make this a tradition, where I think a lot of traditions actually just naturally happen over time, and you don't realize you're creating a tradition. It just like down the road, maybe your kids are like, oh, remember when we did this? And at the time you didn't realize you're making a tradition. It's just something that you gravitated towards as a family. For decorations, I am really trying, just in general with seasonal decorations in general, to really pare it down. And I heard somebody say they do this with their decorations, say buy 3 things a year. And even that can add up. I feel like maybe 1 thing a year, but you don't need to have like a full-on theme every year. I was talking to Adrienne, my friend, about this, and I was like, oh my gosh, when the girls were little, I didn't want any red in our house. I was crazy. No wrapping paper, no anything. Everything was like metallic and white and flocked. Do you guys remember that time though? Like everybody had flocked everything. And now I'm like so over the flocked, and I just would do all these crazy themes. Now I just want our Christmas decorations in our home to feel classic, kind of nostalgic, because here's the thing, new stuff is going to be released all the time and it's all going to be super cute, but you just have to kind of accept what you have and work with what you have and not feel the need to redecorate everything every single year. Did buy 2 little wooden Christmas trees at Home Goods the other day, but that's all I've purchased so far. I also like to wait until all of my stuff is out before I buy anything, because you forget what you have, but also by the time I take all the Christmas stuff out, I feel like it's picked over so much in stores. So I don't know. I think I'm just going to try to resist going into stores that have a ton of decor, because I just want to see what we have. I feel like we've got a ton of stuff. The only thing I actually would like to buy is we have flocked wreaths for our front doors. I'm just over the flocked. The next question I got was winter break. Are we going to do a winter break for the kids? Like, do I take a week off? And last year, so we homeschool year round. So through the summer, we're still doing stuff. So I feel like that allows me a little bit of leeway for holidays and whatnot, or if somebody gets sick, to take a couple days off. So for the holidays, usually what we do is some type of Christmas curriculum. So last year, I think the one we did, Brighter Day Press has some great ones, and also Treehouse Schoolhouse. So we'll do that daily, or like 4 days a week, and it gives you like really great craft ideas. So there's a craft a week, there's a poem, a song, a story, copy work, very like Charlotte Mason based, but it just gives you like a very well-rounded experience for the holidays. I loved it last year. We're probably just gonna do the same one we did last year. Actually, no, because we'll have different crafts. Maybe I'll just substitute the crafts. But that way you feel like you're just getting like there's like a fullness to Christmas, and it really brings out the true meaning of Christmas to your kids, and it takes away the consumerism part of it. I feel like every day we wake up and we sit down, and instead of going right to our schoolwork, we learn all about the Christmas story, and we talk about all the ins and outs of that. It's really nice, because I think kids can really easily get caught up in all the presents and all of that. So doing a Christ-based curriculum for Christmas time really helped last year. And I just felt like our focus was way less on presents last year. It was really great. I'll link down below to what we used. The other thing you can do for Advent is they have like Advent books. I think I got one last year, but it was a little old for the girls. But I'll put that down below if you have older kids, and you read a story every day for Advent, and it leads up to the Christmas story. So because we do that and do our little Christmas curriculum, we don't necessarily take days off. If there's maybe a day we had something planned, I don't stress about not doing school that day. But we still try to fit it in as much as we can. It's kind of like we just tailor it back a little bit. And also when they're doing like their crafts and their Christmas themed things, it doesn't feel like school to them. So I feel like they really like that. But then I'll like fill in some math here and there and reading still. So I wouldn't say we would take necessarily a designated week off, but if we're busy or if we have stuff coming up, I just don't worry about doing school. And also, same thing comes for like after summer. If I ever feel like their kids are getting a little burnt out or tired, then we'll just pull it back a little bit and just do a little bit less. And it kind of resets everybody. A couple traditions that we do for Christmas and Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve, my mom used to always make us potato soup. I loved it. And so now did I make that last year? I think we did actually. And we go to church, we dress up for church, and we'll do one present before we go to church or after. And then we read the night before Christmas. There's a giant cement truck right there. We read the night before Christmas, and we just have like a cozy night together. Oh, and we go look at Christmas lights. So Christmas Eve is really special. I love Christmas Eve. We try not to go to bed super late. And then I love just getting all the presents ready. with Andrew at night. Like, that is the highlight of my year. Getting the stocking, like taking everything out and putting the stockings together and making it all look special for the kids. Like, that is what I dreamed of my whole life doing for my kids. And now I get to do it, and it's just the best thing ever. So I love Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, Christmas morning, we wake up, we do stockings first, and then we open up our presents. Andrew and I don't really give presents to each other. We're not much gift givers to each other. I love giving gifts to other people, but Andrew is not like much of a gift giver. And I'm so specific on things that I like, where he would get me something and I'd be like, what? Like, I'd always say, or no, I wouldn't return things, but it got to the point where Andrew's like, how about I just like, we'll just go shopping, or you just pick out what you want for your birthday. So we don't really do gifts anymore. It's kind of like, it just falls flat. So we focus on the kids for that. But I do fill up his stocking, and I was like, I'm filling up your stocking, so this means you fill up mine. He never quite understood that. So we'll have to figure that again. I might have to be like, look, do you want to get stuff for my stocking or no? If you're not, am I not getting you stuff for your stocking? Because I think I took a picture last year and I like had Andrew's stocking full of stuff and it was just mine, just empty. And I'm like, so the communication was lost for this, but okay. So we open presents, and then it kind of changes depending on what family members we're with. Sometimes my parents will be here for Christmas, and so we'll like cook breakfast together. This year, they're not going to be with us on Christmas, but we're going to be with Andrew's family. They're going to come. Actually, shoot, I just realized that we might go to Andrew's brother's house for Christmas. I got to talk to them. But usually what we've done in the past is we have like a quick breakfast, just us, immediate family. And then once everybody is like playing with their toys, then I start making breakfast, and I will do cinnamon rolls and an egg casserole that I make the night before. I'll make that during Christmas Eve, put that in the fridge, and then we bake that in the morning. And sometimes we'll do like bacon, and we have our breakfast together. So it's around like 9 or 10. We'll do that with Andrew's family. And then from there, we'll open up presents with them, and then we'll just hang out. And then sometimes we'll do like a late or an early dinner together. Sometimes we'll do takeout even, or I made like a charcuterie board last Christmas. Honestly, I don't even remember. I feel like they all just blur together at this point. And we do Christmas jammies, but I usually just wear like, I don't like to be in jammies all day long. I can't do that. So usually just something comfortable. But it's funny too, because my family growing up was so different than Andrew's family. Like, his family would be in sweatpants all day long for Christmas, and my family would be in their pajamas for opening presents and having breakfast. And then we would change, and we would be in like nice clothes for like the rest of Christmas, because we'd have family come over, and we would do white elephants at night. That's another thing we do too, I forgot, is white elephants. See what I mean? Like, all these little traditions, like, I have to stop trying to make more traditions because we already have so many things that we do anyways. But same thing with that. I might just be like to Andrew, do we want to do white elephants, or is that just too much? Like, we don't have to do that this year. So that's kind of like what we do for Christmas. If you guys have other questions, leave me some comments and we can chat down below about things. But yeah, I'm not like fully in Christmas mindset yet, just since we were so in Halloween and we've been like wrapped up in fall, and we're still gonna actually like continue fall at our house for a while, especially because Violet is very into fall, and she's like, this is still fall, Mom, it's not winter yet. I'm like, okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this card chat. Please tell me what you guys do. I love hearing about other people's traditions and what you guys do or don't do. It's just, I love it. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope the quality was better on today's video and the sound. I am praying, but I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.